Okay, let's get into it. We're looking at a tool today that honestly makes a pretty bold claim. We're talking about Coinsnap, an app that says it can basically revolutionize coin collecting. A hobby built on, well, decades of human expertise. And it claims you just snap a photo and boom, identifies over 300,000 coin types. And, this is the kicker, gives you their market value. So, the big question for this deep dive. Is this app really a game changer for collectors, or is it maybe just some digital hype?
Exactly. That's what we wanted to find out. We've looked at how it actually works, dug through user reports, all that stuff. Our mission here is really to give you the straightforward verdict on Coinsnap.
Mhm.
Does it actually help you, the collector, or the learner? So first things first. Yes, Coinsnap is definitely a real app. It works. It's on the app stores, all that. And its main strength, speed. It's super fast for identification.
Right, so if you're a beginner, maybe you inherited a bunch of old coins, you just need a quick ID.
Yeah, exactly. For that initial sort of finding a name, a date, where it's from, it's actually pretty helpful. Gives you a starting point, fast.
Okay, that speed sounds great. I mean, recognizing that many coins is impressive tech. But where does that convenience hit a wall? Because if it can identify 300,000 coins, shouldn't it just, look up the value? Seems straightforward.
Ah, well, that's where it gets interesting. It seems straightforward, but it's not.
Hmm.
It hits the wall the moment a coin isn't, like, perfectly preserved. See, there's a huge difference between identifying a coin pattern recognition, basically, and valuing it, which needs human grading.
Grading, like how worn down it is.
Precisely. And that's where the sources say the app really struggles. Think about worn coins. Grading, using something like the Sheldon scale, it depends on tiny, tiny details. Is the mint mark crisp? Are the highest points worn flat? So take a famous coin like a 1909 VDB Lincoln set. The app might correctly say, yep, that's what it is. But if it's heavily worn, can the app tell if it's a good 4 versus maybe a very fine 20? Almost certainly not. And that difference,
That could be a lot of money, right?
it could be tens, even hundreds of dollars,
Yep.
easily. The app just doesn't seem to capture that nuance.
Okay, so the AI gets the basic picture, but it doesn't understand the where, the scarcity, the story of that specific coin.
You nailed it. It doesn't factor in market swings or maybe subtle environmental damage an expert eye would catch immediately. Which means, and this is really crucial, the value estimates it spits out can be way off, wildly inaccurate sometimes, according to users.
Okay, that's a big warning sign. A potential financial cliff, like you said.
Definitely something you need to keep front of mind if you use it.
And speaking of money, there's another side to this, the actual cost of the app. We saw reports about the subscription model.
Hmm.
Yeah, quite a few users mentioned issues like free trials being really hard to cancel and then getting hit with unexpected charges.
That came up quite a bit. It adds another layer of caution, doesn't it? And when you put all this together, the valuation problems, the subscription complaints the user reports really point to one clear conclusion. Coinsnap. It's best seen as a supplemental tool. Great for a quick ID check, maybe, but you absolutely should not treat it as your main source for figuring out what a coin is actually worth.
Right. Speed is one thing. Accuracy for value is totally different, especially when real money is involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our core advice, based on everything we looked at, is simple.
Yeah.
If Coinsnap gives you a value, immediately go check it against trusted sources.
Like the standard price guides, the Red Book,
Hmm.
or getting it professionally graded.
Exactly those. Industry standards, professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, that's the only way to be sure you're not, say, undervaluing something rare.
Okay, so let's summarize the takeaway for everyone listening. Coinsnap. Super fast for identification can be a good starting point. But, and it's a big but, you must verify any monetary value it gives you somewhere else with reliable, established references.
It's a modern tool, for sure, but it hasn't replaced that foundational expertise yet. And that brings us to a final thought, something for you to chew on. Given these potential issues, the iffy valuations, the tricky subscriptions, how do you as a collector balance that convenience of instant ID against the absolute need for trustworthy, verified appraisal?
Yep.
It's something to really consider before you rely too heavily on any automated tool for your collection's value.